Everyone, welcome to Sims Teen Mom. And where we left off, Grace was kind of starting to question some tactics about the family, like who is Emil's mother, how did they get Emil, and what is off about Emil. And I think she's just about to figure that out because he's walking around in his alien attire. And we found out that he's an alien, but she indeed did not. So, she is just now finding out that he's an alien. And I don't know how she feels about it. She seems to be actually happy about it, like excited about it, but she's making her really want to question some things. And Emil's like, listen, you can tell just anybody. I really could even get in trouble just showing you this. But I'm tired of hiding. I'm tired of having to feel like I have to hide behind myself. And I feel comfortable enough showing this to you. So you please don't tell. And I think Grace is receptive enough to understand that and not to tell. But I think she is going to say something to his father, Jasper, and like, listen, you could have just told me. I would have understood. I understand that there is other creatures out there. Because my cousin was a vampire at one time. I understand that those creatures are out there. The only thing I do have to ask you is, honestly, and all I'm asking, please, is for the truth. Who is his mother? And he said, I'll be honest with you now. I guess. Since obviously you're okay with my son, he's okay with you. He says, as long as you keep my promise, or as long as you keep the promise to Emil like you said you would, I'll tell you. She said, honestly, I will. He said, listen, when I was younger, I was a teen, much like you were when you had your kids. I was abducted by aliens, and they impregnated me, and I had Emil. And the only thing that's truly been keeping Emil safe is because they don't understand that Emil is still alive. They think he is gone. And so it's really crucial that you do not go around telling people where Emil is, because until he's old enough to be considered an adult, which is 18 in alien times, then he could truly be taken away from us. And that's something that I don't want to happen. And Asher, babe, if you are tired, why don't you go ahead and head to sleep, and I'm sure someone will be in to tuck you in. And so I think Grace is really receptive of things now. She understands why they wanted to keep things a secret about who Emil really is. And the reason why, like, you guys might be wondering, well, he's open, he's walking around in that thing. But this is actually like a very little people go around here. And so that's why. Plus, it's gated, so they really can't see him. Once he becomes a teen, it'll be a lot easier to hide things. Okay. So it looks as if they really are starting to be receptive of everything. But there is some news that Maya is going to have to tell Grace in the morning. She doesn't want to take things away from that talk now that they just had. And she doesn't want to scare Grace or anything into pretty much doing anything or rushing out or anything and making her feel stressed and all that. So she's going to let her sleep it off tonight, and then she has something to reveal in the morning to Grace. So I'll be back in a minute once they get up for the morning. Okay, so it's morning time. It's also Gracie's birthday. Or not Gracie's, but Emmy's birthday, I'm sorry. So she'll be aging up to a child today. Um, as well as we have that information that Maya has to tell us. It's some kind of sad news, but it's also going to have a light on it as well when you think about it. So, Grace, why don't you come in here and go ahead and get started on Emmy's birthday cake? And these two, ever since they've kind of last night, they've really been hanging out around each other a lot lately. And even behind the scenes, they have. And they've really gotten to get to know each other. And I think that now that he knows that Grace is really a sweet and caring woman, and he's always wanted kids, and obviously he has Emil, but he always wanted to have more kids, but not the way that Emil is. Not that he doesn't care for Emil, but also, so he is going to go ahead and just as a friend act like he's um saying like, so you've been hanging around here a lot lately, and you haven't really had anybody around, like you haven't had any guys, and I know what happened to you with the twins' parents and Emmy's father as well, and it wasn't right what happened. But how would you like? How would you say your relationship status is? And she is going to sit there and say, "Well, my relationship status is single. I don't have a relationship." So he's like, "Listen, I know my mom has something to tell you later." He said, "But I really haven't been able to keep you out of my mind. And I love your kids, um, like they're my own. I know they're not mine, they're yours. But I love them, like they are, in a sense. How would you feel about maybe trying to um, be in a relationship. Obviously, he's doing Gracie first, or Emmy first. I'm sorry. I keep mixing them up. So Emmy has aged up. I was kind of thinking for her, she's really gonna be, and I think she's gonna be like a soul, like really into like kind of like cheerleading. I'm gonna change up her look, so don't just kind of ignore her look for a minute. But he's like, how would you try to like, maybe we could get to know each other a little bit better. Because he said, my mom's asked me to tell you this, and she's at work, and she realized that we were talking. The room that you have is been booked by another woman before, and we didn't realize it. It was an honest mistake, and so my mom has found us a home, or found you a home, I should say, a 3-bedroom. I'll sleep on the couch if I have to, but I was kind of thinking maybe we can move out together to the island. And what do you say? And she's like, listen, I mean, I guess. She said, but 3 bedrooms really isn't going to be enough. Because if you had to bring a meal and all that. And he's like, listen, I'm going to bring a meal. But I was kind of thinking maybe the boys could share a room. And then Emmy could have her room because she's a girl. And then I could sleep on the couch. And so Grace is like, listen, oh, okay, I understand. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna go ahead and move things out to our new home, and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, guys, I will show you guys the new house and that in the next episode because I'm gonna go ahead and make them a house, and all that. So we're gonna go ahead and end it out here. But Emil, um, Jasper, Grace, and the twins, and Emmy will all be moving out and leaving Maya there to welcome the new mother into Mountain Lodge. But they'll be moving into their own place in Salani, which is the new world. And I'll show you guys what it looks like in the next episode. So, you guys will not want to miss that. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. And make sure you guys stay tuned tomorrow for the debut of the official start of The Bachelor's Challenge in Sims 4. It's going to be quite interesting. Peace.